Hello YouTube and welcome to Old Knott's Garage. We're now in the garage in a rather chilly corner of northwest England where we're going to be dealing with mainly motorcycle restoration. There will be a main project bike which I will be showing you in a minute if you hang around. There will be some side build items going on which concern two BSA Bantams, one which is nearly finished and one which is still ongoing. So that may be of interest as well. And additionally, there will be I suppose you could call it a running restoration of another bike, which I'm not ready to show you yet. I think it'll be quite interesting. I hope it'll be very interesting. I hope you will like it. It will mainly be getting it roadworthy rather than a full restoration. That will have to wait until after the main build has been done. And therefore, now is the obvious time to show you the main build. Right, here it is. It's a BSA A65 Firebird Scrambler. Quite how much scrambling you'd want to do on it, I don't really know. It appears to be complete. It's a 1971, which is a bit of a crossover model, because the early ones would have had a dove grey frame. This one's black, although it has got dove grey shock absorbers. It's also got this rather unusual sort of pinky purple paint, which according to a book on BSAs, which I have, and I've completely forgotten the title of, but I'll put it in the description below, about late model BSAs, this is what was called the forgotten colour, because it doesn't show up in any of the manufacturer's documentation describing exactly what the colour is. Whether it will remain in this colour, I have yet to decide, because frankly I'm not really that keen, and I preferred the earlier Firebird colours, and I've just noticed looking down here that under the paint there is in fact some orangey colour, which was a 1971 colour as well. So whether this was changed, I don't know. I'll check when I strip the frame whether there's any dove grey underneath. The paint looks suspiciously good on the frame, although to be honest the condition's not that bad generally. The handlebars are ridiculous high things which are not standard and will be going. So let's take a closer look at some of the other parts and see what we can find. The front wheel has got the later type of twin leading shoe drum, which is actually a bit of a retrograde step compared to the earlier type, but we'll go into that later. It's got the 4-stud BSA stroke Triumph forks, which appear to be in decent condition. There's very, very minor marking on the stanchions, but it is really minor. So that'll all come up okay. Spokes are a bit of a mismatch, but some are good, some are not. I'll be doing my best to clean them up. The rim is generally good, with the odd, really quite bad sections for some reason, presumably where it's standing for a long time. Hopefully that'll clean. I don't really want to get involved in rebuilding the wheels because it's expensive and not a particularly pleasant job. Going back to the brake, the black finish, I think, was for later bikes, 72. I'll have to look into that. But at this period in BSA's history, I believe they were fairly, well, how can I put it politely? They weren't paying much attention to what went where, and they weren't paying much attention to the supporting documentation either. So it's probably original, probably just got fitted as they're waiting for the 72 stuff to get online. I shall investigate. The mudguard is pretty good, also some minor marking, but hopefully that'll polish out. The rubber mounts are rotted away like so many US bikes. And the high level bit, which looks a bit ridiculous, is in fact correct, I believe. For the Firebird, the Thunderbolts and things had them mounted lower down, but I believe the Scrambler had this large gap. Right, moving on up the forks. The bike's fitted with these wire headlamp holders. As you can see, this one's broken, as is the one on the other side. You've got your standard for the time Lucas indicators fitted to Triumph as well. This arms are a bit scummy because they're not very well chromed to begin with, but hopefully again that will clean up. Front brake light switch on the cable, which has got various bits of tatty wiring around it. The other wiring here and the throttle cables all go through a rubber grommet. So that's all going to need some work, so let's move on and look at the instruments. The instruments themselves don't look bad condition, although their mounting chrome rings are slightly bashed about. Hopefully I'll be able to straighten and reuse them. There we go, it's looking better already. Typical sun damage, cracking, rubber. Is that part of the history of the bike, or is that something that you're just going to spend loads of money on changing? Haven't really decided yet. Got steering lock down here. The chrome work's generally not bad. Headlamp chrome looks not too bad, so again that'll be getting reused. Various bits of wiring knocking about doing nothing, so I suspect it's going to end up with a lot of new wiring. But otherwise not too bad. Let's move on up to the instrument panel. No, not the instrument panel, sorry, the handlebar switches. Typical barrel grips, anti-vibration, which are crumbly at the edges, so it's been scraped against something. Throttle's free, good return. And then your bog standard Joe Lucas electrics, which are all complete. Brake cable is free, clutch cable is free, but very heavy. But it's all there, so there's something to work with. Moving down to the tank, the paintwork has suffered badly, sun bleached, which has then made it lift and rust slightly, but it all appears to be good sound metal, which is the important thing. Minor scuffing to the alloy on top, which hopefully will rub off and be re-lacquered. Chrome caps not very good, but again, not the most expensive item to replace. The inside of the tank, which I can't show you just yet because it's fairly awkward to get to, we'll deal with it when we do the tank proper, is unfortunately pretty rusty inside, so it's going to need some fairly serious cleaning out, possibly have to line it to protect for the future, but we shall see nearer the time. Something to look forward to. The rear light is complete, but cracked. The lens is cracked. That just needs painting. Again, we've got the cruddy stalks, which hopefully will clean up. And in this one, has a broken lens, so that's going to need sorting out as well. The seat doesn't look too bad to begin with, and then, whoops, there's a large hole. Looks like somebody's eaten it, to be honest. Whether that can be repaired, I don't know. Replacement seats are available, so it's possible it may end up being completely replaced. I don't know yet. But let's have a look under the seat next and see what there is under there. Under the seat we've got the usual oil and frame layout. Pair of coils, battery, not entirely sure what that is. Flasher relay, I'm assuming. 3 spark plug socket. And your filler hole for your oil. Oh dear me. Try and get it in the slot first. Ah, there we go. Yeah, I was expecting a dipstick to be attached to that. I should have to look at my parts book. Can't feel anything in there, so I have to assume there's not much oil in there. Now, whilst I've got the seat open, under this is your standard central bolt tank fitting. This is merely a cover to make it look a bit more modern and not have a big rubber bung halfway up your petrol tank. Right, that's the seat. On the UK near side, you've got the high level exhaust pipes, and then the 2 silencers are not original. There should be an H piece, and the originals are a different shape. The exhaust pipes, I think, could be right, looking at them. Possibly. Well, again, further investigation required. Twin AML carbs, which look surprisingly clean. The engine, obviously, which has got matching numbers to the frame. We've got some damage on the outside case down here, which isn't too pretty. I'll have to try and polish that out, I think. And then at the bottom, which you will have to bear with me for 1 second as we move down, it's fitted with a centre stand, which not all of them were. I think that's an optional extra. I think they only came with a side stand originally, but again, I'll have to do a bit of research. It's got the right folding footrest and a badly bent brake pedal. So it's been down the road at some time. Now, engine-wise, there is a YouTube belief that getting these old beasts going, going to be sat for many, many years, is a good thing. I'm afraid I don't really agree with that. Personal opinion, I know, and lots of people would disagree, but I've seen too many engines where bikes have been laid up for a specific problem, and I think you've got to try and find that problem before you start trying to fire them up, or you could do more damage. What I will do, although obviously it won't be very accurate on a cold engine, is I'll give it a quick compression test and just see if we've got anything at all resembling compression. It feels okay in the kickstart. If anything, it feels like it's got too much, as I can stand on a kickstart and nothing seems to want to move. So we'll just pop the compression tester in and see what we've got. Right, compression tester's in, plugs are out, so we'll just give it a few kicks. Let's see what we got. We have got just over 100 psi, which for a cold motor with who knows how much oil in it, probably not that bad a figure. I'll just swap things over to the other side and see what we've got on our side. The other side's not quite so good. Let's see, 75, 80, 85, about 86 psi. I have squirted a little bit of oil into that cylinder, tried it again, and we've got the same result. So I think it's fair to say that we may have slightly less good valves on this side. But we're going to find out when we strip it. But not too horrendous. There's something there to work with. We shall see how bad things are when it comes to parts.